everybody on the internet. Welcome back. You guessed it. Sodi Pop on YouTube. Woo! Sweet. Oops. Chair's nice and pretty. Great. Well, welcome back, everyone. We had a lovely drop this morning as my voice cracks. We had a lovely drop of She-Hulk joining the Fantastic Four. And I did not get one. Unfortunately, just like pretty much everyone this past month plus, which has been crazy. Come on. So hopefully my luck changes at some point. And I just was experimenting with my phone, and I've always known. So one thing important with phones when you're buying stuff off the market in particular, and depends what phone you have. I have one of the newer iPhones, but I think any iPhone that can have like a new iOS or has a big enough screen, you want to make your text as small as possible. Now, fortunately, this isn't a problem for me in my everyday life. I can imagine having your text as small as possible for just normal life would be frustrating if you can't see it or you need glasses or something, because it is pretty small. The text is pretty darn small. Make sure it's small as possible. And what's cool about it is when you go into buy the market, your buy now button is right at the bottom. Not for comics. Comics are still too long, and your buy now button, you still have to scroll down. But it helps a lot for buying stuff off the market. Well, welcome everyone. Of course, we had the amazing She-Hulk drop. So we have a bunch of stuff. Disney is introducing a bunch of characters, and it will be interesting to see going forward if and how they are popular, because it's going to depend on the actor or actress, I'm sure, playing them, how likable they are. Obviously, you know, Tony Stark was hugely popular. Spider-Man, very popular. They picked some really good actors, actresses to play those. I think, seemingly going forward, that Scarlett Johansson's sister, so Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, the sister of Black Widow, going forward seems like a good character, and I think the actress has really struck a chord. I know with me, and it seems like the audience, people seem to really like her. I've seen a lot of like YouTube shorts pop up with her in it. I don't really like watch too many YouTube shorts, but I've seen a lot of her pop up on my feed. So maybe her as an actress is getting much more popular. But anyways, so it's going to be interesting to see who pops up as a popular character and then who they'll make more of in the future. Like, oh, they get their own standout film. I'm sure they have a whole bunch of reasons for doing this. Of course, we have the Multiverse of Madness coming up as well. All right. Let's move into this comic drop, and then we're going to read the comic shortly. If you're in the chat, say hello. If not, that's all right. Thank you so much for joining. So this is a 10,000 comic drop, one of the more rare ones. It used to be the most rare until we got the 1,000 Spider-Man comic drop, but that is all right. There's some really, really beautiful covers here. These are the original covers. Of course, you have, not Johnny. He's acting all creepy. Flame on. Man, that's definitely an original cover, right? Look at that. Look at that creep face. Oh no, let me zoom in there. Oh, interesting. Ah, I see how zoom works. Interesting. Okay, so we have the original with the Fantastic Four. The Thing is indisposed this time with the ability to return home, but She-Hulk is filling in. We'll see that shortly. Of course, we have the black and white version with the beautiful emerald golden hair. Very cool. The beginning of Women's Month as well. So congratulations to all women. Hopefully we can have a few of those amazing women, maybe right on here, right on Sodi Pop. This cover is fantastic. So she's literally tearing through the comic book. Really beautiful. I love the artwork on this one. I think this is a kind of an iconic piece. Now the comic book itself isn't super expensive. I think I prefer the black and white on this one, to be honest, because it separates her from the background a little bit more. That is me. And then the secret rare, which I really enjoy, very clean. I love it when they do this very clean and they focus on the character that we're talking about. So She-Hulk, of course, 10,000 editions. Let's get into it. Right before we go into the reading, so we have Bitcoin down a little bit today, but doing well overall. Omi is down overall the past like couple weeks, but it has recovered a little bit from its low. So it is doing just fine. Maybe a good time to pick it up, perhaps not. I know I'll be adding a little bit more to my bags, but not too much. I'm not going to go all in, just to be safe. VeVe in 3. Morning, bud. I'm running about the house and listening to this like a podcast, so I might not button chat a ton. Thank you so much, Old Rhubarb, VeVe in 3. I really enjoyed your video. Just want to say, with the She-Hulk, I really enjoy your stuff. Really fun to listen to, and a lot of information, because it's one reason why I'm reading these comics is because I think it's really important to get the overall history of what's going on. I actually asked Comics and Crypto, hey, is there some sort of book that encapsulates, history of maybe the early comics? Because, there's a lot happening with World War II, the kind of the golden age of comic books, how they came about, why, and there's a lot more than just Marvel, right? There's tons and tons of comics. Ideally, I'd like something that concentrates on Marvel and what we see in VeVe, and then there's, of course, more to discuss for comic books, but that would be interesting to see. I'm sure there's some sort of coffee table book that has a lot of that early information in it, what Stanley and Jack Kirby were doing, maybe even some early history on them. I know that's all on the internet, you can find it, but it'd be cool to have it in one book central location. I'd really be interested in reading the history and how they came up with some of these big characters, why they decided to do what they did with them, why they decided on kind of these multiverse ideas. That'd be really interesting. Anyways, moving forward, let's head into the comic. Ooh, my iPad is on the bed there. Un momento. Let me switch really quickly to here while I grab my iPad very quickly. Thank you. And it is interesting. I think my girlfriend is one of the people that's been caught up in the account issues, because it seems like her account is not loading on her phone. It loaded for me yesterday. She has herself logged into my iPad. Loaded for me yesterday just fine on her iPad, but it didn't load into the phone or the iPad this morning. So she just was like, never mind, I want to try it. She's like, I'm not gonna get it anyways. Even though she might, who knows? I did not get one anyways, unfortunately. Okay, I think we're ready to go on here. Yes, we are. Beautiful. All right, so we will start the comic reading. Fantastic Four number 265. The She-Hulk joins the team. And we can look up after this. I want to see if this has... That is not it. Fantastic Four anniversary tribute. Oh, very interesting. We want the original Fantastic Four. Here we go. This is probably it. 265. What's also interesting in reading these comic books is, as I look them up and I read more, there's just so much. You see like where they skip around, because of course you have Amazing Fantasy, you have the Fantastic Four, the main line. You have then Amazing Spider-Man comes along, and then he goes into Ultimate Spider-Man. And so you kind of see where they jump around, where they start introducing new characters, and maybe what was popular for them or not, and what characters join what. So it gives you a preview into how popular this stuff is in the comic world without fully knowing if you're not in the comic world, right? It gives you a little hint. Of course, Fantastic Four is one of the oldest, and I'm sure will be, again, as far as popularity, will be one of the most popular ones. But they need to reintroduce them into pop culture, which they are supposed to be doing. Hopefully, the rumor is with the Multiverse of Madness, and then we'll see a new Reed Richards, Sue Storm, all that great stuff. Where were we? 265. I lost my concentration as I was scrolling. 265. Let's see that green She-Hulk. Where is she? I also love the old naming conventions of 265. There we go. Beautiful. We all ready. Untold Story by Sean Howe is a fun, decent read on the meat and bones behind the marvel and conception. Cool. I'm going to look that up. I'm going to type that in right now. We're going to look it up after this. After the Untold Story. Marvel Comics, Untold Story. Boom. Here it is. Nice. Okay, cool. That will be what we're doing. All right. Here we go. The best, the amazing comic reading. We have the Fantastic Four, number 265. Introducing the newest member of the Fantastic Four. Oh my, it's the world ready for this? Maybe not, but I sure am. Creeper. All right. Stan Lee presents The House That Reed Built. Look at it. Don't it seem all cozy and unsuspecting? It's gonna be so easy to destroy them. Nice. So we have, of course, the Fantastic Four Tower. So far, so good. I don't hear no alarms going off. Probably wouldn't hear. They got the place real well soundproofed. Wind direction's changing. This is gonna be the tricky part. Them tall buildings all around make for some mean updrafts. Gotta bring myself around. Gotta come in from the west. According to the wizard, that's the most vulnerable side. Ah, the west side. Darn them. At least that's the side I climbed that time I was poisoned as Spider-Man. Good, according to the scanner, I've been detected. Idiots. But not identified as an attacker. Yet. There's some guys parachuting in on top of the tower. Okay, let's see what happens when I land. 3 seconds to contact. He's landing. Now, got 86 of these balloons before some passing. Oh, got 86. Oh, nice. Got 86 of these balloons before some passing super duders come see me and comes investigate. Just getting around the balloons. There now. What's it? Blast! Some kind of security eyeball, I bet. Must be new. Wasn't here last time. Well, look, I am just gonna shoot at me. I'll just splat. Hey, another one. Splat. And another one. The paste gun can't immobilize, clog them all. Always pasting them good. Okay, so before we get any more surprises, I gotta get off this roof and into the Baxter building. Let's just see if this old multi-phase electronic skeleton key still works. That'd be really cool, actually, if you had that nowadays. Bingo. Shunk. It opens the door. Still, no sound of alarms. Everything's going according to plan, as long as I follow the Fantastic Four's own procedures. The building's defense system will be too confused to attack me. Now, let's have a look at it. The hangar deck. Ooh, they're in the hangar deck. All the Fantastic Four's flying stuff on this level, the pogo plane, all the fantastic cars. Yeah, what a treasure trove this is. Ooh, nice. Even the access to the space rocket, all the right for the picking. Intruder. Hangar deck. Ooh, they've identified. Stand by for retina scan. Identity confirmed. Peter Petruski. Paste Pot Pete. The Trapster. Affiliation. The Frightful Four. Believe presently independent. The Wingless Wizard. The Sandman. Electro. Medusa. Thundra. Lyra. See Crawford's reference. 2376-12300. Nice. So it's identified him. Intruder has entered the hangar deck. Main scanning mode. There's nothing to stop me from rigging this Fantastica blow up the next time they Fantastic Four use it. But that'd take some time, and the berth from the short range car is empty. One of them must have the flying bathtub out today. And that means could be back at any time to catch me before I reach the others. Better get moving. Blasted elevator call button doesn't work. Man, this guy's not very smart. Recorded, attempted improper use of solenoid elevator lock. Scan continuing, subject attempting hangar deck exit. Wait a minute, maybe these elevators aren't equipped with the same beam locks as the lobby doors. But that looks like a regular electronic lock on that door. Ooh, I was right. So he's in the stairwell now. Great, a stairwell. I figured there'd be some other way between the floors in case the power failed. Now, if I remember right, the next level down should be an astroscience. Who's that? Ah, crud, this place starting to spook me. He saw his reflection. I'll be jumping in my own shadow next. I mean, he literally did. Subject tracking, continuing. All security areas under maximum phase lock monitor. System stand from level GA873 through RN854 level 500. Bioscan to maximum. Tracing. All biofunctions indicate extreme nervous distress. Scan completed. Initiate jamming sequence. Oh, it looks like he's going to jam his gun. Down we go another level. This should be their psychic lab. And like that. Physics lab. Not psychic. Physics. And the scanners show big energy through the right somewheres. That looks promising. The door is heavily shielded. The regular energy sensor probably wouldn't have detected anything through all that metal. Luckily, the scanner was made by the wizard. He's almost as brainy as Mr. Fantastic. That's the key word. Almost. That's another lock. They sure don't want anyone. Yow! Oh, he is shocked by it. Blast, some kind of electroshock defense system. This scanner didn't pick it up. But I can fix that real quick with my paste gun. Ooh, we know what's gonna happen, people. The paste gun. Just a quick zap of the liquid emulsion without the adhesive, and the lock shouldn't short. What the? The gun's jammed. Confirmation of weapon deactivation. Scan continuing. Subject proceeding to stairs. Switching to lateral scan. Lateral scan activated. Subject located. So he's running down the stairs away. All right. Still scanning for him. Subject approaching residential level. Defense alert to all first level systems. Defense mode KL8-0037. Scan for subject's prime vulnerabilities and commence capture sequence. Oh, he's screwed. Where the heck is everybody? The whole blasted tower complex is deserted. This ain't fair. I came to prove that I'm not a loser everyone thinks I am. To prove that I could beat the Fantastic Four without the rest of the Frightful Four. Meep. Excuse me, sir, but you are not authorized to be in part of the building. Holy, a flying robot! I knew it was too good to be true. The security system must have been tracking them all along. Hubert, to central control. Subject is fleeing. Shall I detain him? Negative. As he slips on the car. Ah! Subject is about to detain himself. As he falls on a toy car. That elevator. It's got to be the regular call button. Of course, this is the visitor reception level. The elevator would be designed to let anyone in and out since it had been passed this far by security. Come on, open up, you blasted. Subject leaving max secure area. Tower system. Step down to yellow alert. Oh, how did you get into the tower? The receptionist. Receptionist? I can use as a hostage in case there are any more tricks ahead. Okay, babe, no trouble. You coming with me? Oh no, sir, I'm afraid that would be quite... Ah! Impossible. She flips him. Ugh! Wow, nice. Police! Sergeant Quinlan, please. No, it ain't possible. I'm the trapster. I can't get beat by an empty building. And... Girl? Hello, Sergeant. This is Roberta at the Baxter Building. I'm sorry to disturb you. We're in lunch, but we have a pickup for you. Yes, a trapster. Oh no, he's quite subdued. We were able to deal with him easily. Miss Richards, please! Avengers Mansion, east of Central Park, New York. A long and emotionally draining week is drawing to a close. Home are the heroes. Ah, it looks like they're home. And yes, this is after Sue and Reed got married. Oh, hello, Jarvis. Sorry to invade your sanctum sanctorium, but I caught a whiff of these yummy cooking aromas. And, well, I'm afraid my curiosity just got the better of me. I appreciate the compliment implied, Miss Richards. We'll try and do an accent for him. But this particular dish is terribly finicky, and temperatures must be precisely maintained. There, I think that should compensate for the heat loss. I'll, just leave you to it then. Shall I, Jarvis? Sorry again. Oh, that's all right, ma'am. I expect we'll be a little tense for the last few days. Please don't give it another thought. A little tense, Jarvis, is a wonderfully British term for an understatement. Who wouldn't be a little tense after what happened? I felt so helpless since I watched Reed, Ben, and Johnny fly off the tower towards Central Park. Reed's equipment had monitored a strange fluctuation of energy. They'd barely had time to reach the source of the disturbance when that light. Susan, that light! What? Alicia, you saw it too? You're blind. But I saw it, Susan, somehow. It seemed to fill the world, the universe. A terrible, consuming light, like something alive, something hungry. Incredible. If that was somehow able to see that light, it must have been radiating in unimaginable wavelengths. Alicia, Franklin is asleep in Johnny's old room. Would you? Susan, no, don't leave us alone here. Not again. Blast. I should have realized she'd been terrified staying here by herself, but the last time she was nearly killed by a nihilist. All right, Alicia, give me your hand. See issue 251 through 256. What a strange trio must have made, zooming away from the Baxter building in another one of our fantastic cars. An expectant mother, a blind woman, and a rudely awakened 5-year-old boy. There's the sheep meadow ahead, and there's some residual radiance. That must have been where the light came from. But it was more, much more than a simple source of light that was discovered as it guided the fantastic car high over the rolling green lawns of the sheep meadow. Susan, what is it? I sense it's awesome, Alicia. Some matter of construct that looks alien, and it must have materialized here. Something about the strange edifice seemed to tug at my mind, impelling me to land and walk through one of the enormous portals. Ooh. But the experience that had taught me better than that. I'm scanning, it's radiating every wavelength, yet it appears benign, harmless. Then, before I could do any more to answer the siren's call, Sue, it's vanishing! Well, this big thing's vanishing. It quickly brought the fantastic car down a few yards from where the outer perimeter of the object had been, and yet as quickly as I discovered, I was not the only one who had come to investigate. Mockingbird, please, try to keep calm. The vision will tell us what happened to the others as soon as he's done scanning. Ah, Scarlet Witch. Keep calm. That's all right for you to say, Wanda. Your husband didn't just vanish into thin air. Ooh. Wanda, Vision, Star Fox, are the Avengers involved in this too? Sue, but where are the rest of the Fantastic Four? Oh, I pray they have not been taken. The Invisible Girl? Taken? Wanda, what on earth do you mean? I suspect nothing on Earth, Susan, but at this point, only hazard to guess. But I'd believe the artifact was some kind of transporting device. But it were. Transported? You mean Reed, Ben, Johnny? They've been. But were it transported, the rest of the Avengers, I cannot say. As my wife put it, taken. If Mr. Fantastic, the Thing, and the Human Torch indeed entered that object, they are no longer on Earth. Ooh. And that's where we've been for a week or so now. We've all been on hold, waiting for something, anything to happen. And we've all been dealing with our nervous tension as the best we can. Mockingbird has been taking longer and longer walks. Alicia, Franklin, and I have stayed on that mansion for closer to Sheep Meadow. And Jarvis has been preparing more elaborate meals. Susan, are you ready to take our stroll? Yeah, come on, Mommy. You promised to take me to the Rumpy Myers today. And promise made is a debt unpaid. Right, kiddo? Let's do it. Pig out. Franklin is such a comfort, of course. I haven't told him his father's missing. But his usual enthusiasm is like a breath of fresh air. Alicia, you seem withdrawn today. Are you all right, dear? I'm fine. Thank you, Susan. I just have a funny sensation in the back of my mind, as if something absolutely momentous is going to happen today. That sounds ominous. I wonder. Oh, Mockingbird, how are things going with you? As well as you can expect it, Sue. I've only been the bride for 5 minutes. Seems a bit too soon to be contemplating with widowhood. Ooh, that's not good. Ah, Alex, nice. And welcome to the stream. Ooh, okay, cool. I'm gonna read this in just a moment. Cool, be right back. All right, so she's talking to Mockingbird right now, and Mockingbird is a little upset because her new husband is missing. All right. The vision keeps telling me not to worry, that my husband Hawkeye and the rest of the Avengers has survived many bizarre things in their years together. Ooh, there's a little tease of that in one of the shows, but that doesn't get past the fact that these could be the last. They could all be. Let's not think things much, Mockingbird. In the years of my relationship with the Thing, I've learned the life of the superhero is that of a soldier of unending war, and we must steel ourselves to those left on the home front. But I'm a superhero myself, Alicia. I can't just... Oh, heck with it. Has the Vision made the speech to the press yet? Just starting to think. But if you'll excuse us now, Mockingbird, we all have a small boy that needs an ice cream. Am I right, sport? Yeah! Thus, 1 hour and several thousand calories later, as night falls. The leaves are turning in Central Park, drawing their bright orange curtain over the last act of a spectacularly beautiful fall. Suddenly, the light again. But is it the same? Alicia doesn't seem to notice it this time. Do they dare hope? Are they back? Alicia, watch Franklin, please. I have to go check on something. Sue? She races headlong into the mottled world beneath the tress, suddenly heedless of her advanced maternity. And as she runs, her cells warp the light around them until I haven't used my power for invisibility in over a month, but something tells me I'll need it now. Then, as Susan reaches the edge of the sheep meadow, Iron Man! The familiar metallic figure flashes across the sky, almost too quickly to be seen. Then the rest of the Avengers must have returned as well. Yes. There they are, on the other side of the meadow. Isn't that Spider-Man nearby? And the Hulk? And if I'm not mistaken, surely that's the X-Men over there. Oh wow, they're all absorbed. But where are Reed and Ben and Johnny? If they were taken at some time, surely they must return at the same time. Agonizing moments click by. It might only be seconds, but Susan Richard, it seems centuries. Then, wait, another nimbus light. Near the center of the meadow. Can it be? It is. I'd know Reed from the posture alone, but that has to be Johnny on the left. But who is that with them? Wahoo! Made it back. We're back on Earth. I've never thought I'd be so glad to breathe New York air again. Oh my goodness, it can't be. It's the She-Hulk, and she's wearing the modified Fantastic Four uniform. What in the world? If you want to see where they've been, check out Marvel Superheroes, The Secret Wars. 12 issues, maxi series, #1, on sale next month. Well, that one's Secret Wars. That one apparently might be coming to the Marvel Universe. It was rumored. Nice. There they are, back in New York City. Really now, people, I told you to get us all back. Surely you didn't doubt me. Reed! Sue, darling, you're all right, and haven't had a baby yet. It must have been gone as long as it seemed. Oh, Reed, I've once saved an instant of analysis. And just kiss me. Oh. Just then. Daddy! Uncle Johnny! Mommy! You didn't tell me you were going to be here. Franklin! Great to see you, Junior. For a while, it looked like we wouldn't get back before your college graduation. Who's the big green lady, Uncle? She's so pretty. Johnny, it's Ben here. Don't you... Oh, Alicia, I didn't give anything. Not to have to tell you. But Ben, well, he isn't... But before the stammering Johnny Storm could find words... Sue! Ah! She's being hit by something in her head. That was hard radiation. A sudden, almost explosive burst. Sue, darling, can you speak? Are you... Reed? Reed, it was the baby. I felt it move. I felt it lash out. Help me. Got to get her to hospital immediately, even though I risk another radiation burst. Don't be a fool, Reed. My tolerance for radioactivity is far greater than yours. Which is true. The Hawks can really take that stuff. And no one's going to waste more time asking for forms to be filled out. I've got to get Susan to the hospital. Johnny, fly ahead to get to Mercy Journal. Let him know we're coming. On my way, She-Hulk. But that flash of radiation, I've never seen anything like it. This is nothing like the problem Sue had delivering Franklin. This may be something even Reed can't deal with. Do we have to say it? To be continued. Ah, come on, guys. They always do this little introduction. All right, so we have She-Hulk in the Fantastic Four. Where is the Thing? No one knows. Well, we technically do know now, but he's safe. He stayed on the other world with the way to get back, so he will be fine, I'm sure. And apparently they flashed away, did the Secret Wars in some way, and came back. They're really interesting. All right, I want to read this from Alex. I picked up a coffee table book called Marvel, the Greatest Comics, 100 Comics That Built a Universe, that I can't recommend enough. I'll get into more detail about it on Old Rhubarb's Discord. Ah, nice plug. Yeah, cool. Definitely check that out. So let's go ahead and check out Marvel Greatest Comics. Marvel Greatest Comics 100. And this is it. Ooh, that one's pricey. $5.42. I'm sure you can get a used one. 25 copies hardcover Marvel. What is this one? Is this like a it just must be someone. Oh, it's for 25 copies of the book for $500. Okay. That makes more sense. Cool. I will have to check this out. If it's just the comics, I want like the story around them. I'll have to check this out a little more. If it's just the comics, then perhaps I might not get it because I have access to the comics. You know, which was an interesting point someone brought up in Twitter the other day. They were saying that for comics to be valuable in the renting sense, that Marvel Ultimate, they need to get rid of it. Because why would you, while Marvel Ultimate exists, you know, $6 a month or what it is, why would you want to rent out your comics? Or who would want to rent out your comics? To me, number one, there needs to be a better reason to rent out comics than just reading them, because the reading experience is not great on VeVe right now, and it might be great in the future, or it might be great in some metaverse in the future. That's fine. And I can think of components as to why it would be more special to read an NFT comic. You know, if you are reading in the metaverse, maybe the Marvel app will be like, no, you can just use it on your phone or iPhone, but you can't use it in VR and whatever. And I'm sure people can figure out ways around it. But one thing that concerned me about it is that this NFT stuff verges, and I hear some people say this, it verges on the shadiness of like capitalism and microtransactions. And that is not where I see the ultimate future of like this stuff going, right? Is I also have heard, I think Randy said it, because I know he said it before, Randy Chavez mentioned that like, oh, he could rent out NFTs and you could rent them out daily, and then people would need that to get gems and games and stuff. I'm like, that sounds horrible. That sounds awful. I don't want to have to rent someone's NFT because it's unique and all, just to get currency for a game that I can't progress in because the game isn't well designed enough to allow me to progress just on effort alone. I have to pay for something, whether that's paying directly to and also, why would they not just have you pay directly to the company like junky games do now? Bad cell phone games have you pay directly to the company, the pay to play or pay to win. I don't mind paying to play, you know, $60, $80, whatever it is for the game. Let me do that. Let me put a little bit in, or buy the costumes. Fortnite is a great example. You don't have to pay to win or to play, but you have the ability to, or you can just have the normal skins, but they make a ton of money from those transactions. So figure out an interesting way to do it without making these microtransactions. But it would be horrible for them to get rid of this amazing comic app that I've now come to really love, just to make NFTs more valuable. You don't think the whole comic world would immediately, I would turn on on comic NFTs. That would be messed up. So I hope that is an idea far, far from their mind. You don't offer something for a good deal and then take it away and then put something in place, something in place that is much, much worse. Tito 420, welcome back, man. It has been a minute. It's 420 somewhere. You're right, it is 420 somewhere. I hope you're having a good day. Today's Friday. We're verging on the weekend, which feels really, really nice. Speaking of the weekend, there's actually 2 Twitter Spaces that are happening. So one tomorrow at 6 p.m. Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, will be kind of a creators Twitter space. So I think Rational Asset is in that, when Pokemon. Everyone's welcome, of course, to hang out, ask questions. And then on Sunday, again, when Pokemon and I are hosting a very much an open space. So everyone's allowed to speak, share ideas. And that's when I brought up the idea of like them getting rid of this Marvel app. That's when that idea was brought up. Some good ideas I also brought up. I'm not saying that's a bad idea monetarily for the company, although I think it is. I think it's a very bad idea, and it would destroy their reputation. But I think it's a bad idea for like human beings. Crypto and this NFT world, there's an idea in the back of my head that it should be open and free. Free not in the sense of monetarily always. People should get paid for the work, and that's what's really exciting, is that artists will receive money for the work going forward. We did see Epic buying, again, Epic, Fortnite, they're the ones who suit Apple. It's the reason why you can have an app launch outside of the App Store and you can get paid the money and Apple doesn't have to get its 30% free, right? That's going to benefit VeVe directly. Epic just bought, you guessed it, Bandcamp. You didn't guess it, I know you didn't. Epic bought Bandcamp. Bandcamp, a notoriously creator-friendly platform, gives more of the money to the creators, just like Epic. Epic has been fighting for that for some time. They give more of a cut on their Epic store monetarily to the game creators and producers than other stores like Steam, for example. So it's pretty awesome to see that. It could just be a competition, but you can imagine that Bandcamp would not sell or even combine with Epic because they are so pro creator. They would never do that unless Epic had some sort of promise or something in the agreement. I hope, one hopes, but I think that is huge. So my thoughts on this is I use Stream Beats. You hear this music I'm playing? I use Stream Beats, which are made by Harris Heller. And for a long time I wondered, why would he create hundreds of songs of different varieties for creators to use on the stream? It's amazing, and he is a creator in and of himself, and he's a music creator as well. Why or how would he do that? It was cool. I used it anyways. You just don't want to get in the way of copyrights. And I do pay for a different service for my main videos to have more specific music that I in particular want. So anyways, why would he do that? Well, he made a video recently that spoke about why he did it, how he did it. So essentially he went on Fiverr or some other services, found music producers and had them create certain styles and genres, paid them, several $1,000s to create these albums and stuff. So he didn't do it himself. Smart. He outsourced it. So what his idea was, is because he has such a big audience, is that of streamers, and he knows they need music through. My cat is being annoying. Well, not annoying. She's just being loud. Yes, you are being loud. So he then put out these Stream Beats, and normal creators on Spotify get like a few 100,000 listens, right? Because there's so many streamers using this, and they don't just play Stream Beats for a couple minutes. They play it for hours and hours and hours while they're streaming all day, maybe 12-hour times, 6-hour times. So you have tens of thousands of creators using this in videos and all sorts of stuff for multiple hours throughout the day, as opposed to most songs get listened to a few times a day, maybe at max. So that's what he did, is he essentially has a market now that brings him in tons of money a month, where he gets paid from Spotify because his stuff get used so often. So that's kind of my idea, is number one is that the Epic could be seeing that model and like, oh, if we create music we could get the creators, the musicians paid more, and we could have kind of a corner in that market. Plus, they do a lot of licensings for video games. So they make the Unreal Engine 4. Now 5 is the one that is going to be used in the future. So Unreal Engine 5 will be used in the future for PS5, Xbox, PC. You can imagine that they will have now a music area to where people can pull music from. And these aren't just big creators. They're going to be smaller creators where game creators can buy music from them and they don't have to like score it themselves or have to go on a different bespoke area to get it separate from Epic. So I think it's very interesting. Personally, I'm happy about it tentatively because we'll see where it goes, right? Again, there's of course some different blockchain music creating. I know Deadmau5 is doing one, I think it's called Audius. So anything where the creator can get paid more and more often is always exciting to me as a YouTube creator myself. I've made music, but really shared it with no one. I've been in bands before and stuff, but that is really, really exciting. Anyways, moving on. So we have 10,000 editions. Let's see if the market is open. Again, it wasn't opening on my iPad before, but we will see if it does. If it doesn't, I'm going to plug in my phone. It opens now. This is so odd. So let me know in the chat if anyone else has had this problem. So my girlfriend's account, she like before the drop, she hasn't been able to log in, but I've been able to log her in right after the drop. So I don't know what's happening with that. She definitely has not used any sort of script or bots or anything at all. She just has a few stuff in her account that she has gotten on drops. But yes, all right, so let's go check out this market and I'll talk to you in a little bit about getting stuff off the drops. So we have the Fantastic Four, She-Hulk, 265. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty low. 25, 26 right off the drop. Wow. To me, that is a little pricey. We did see the Ghost Rider comic. Remember, it was at 10 gems for a while. On stream, I could not get one for whatever reason. The 10 gems for like 30, 45 minutes. I could not pick them up. It moved past 15. I was like, all right, that's too rich for my blood right now. And that one went up to 40 and then dropped back down to the low 30s. I think you can pick them up at 32 today. We'll look at it in a minute. This one, a little bit too hyped. To me, I feel like that's a pump. 25. I personally would not touch it. We just read the comic. Yeah, it's an introduction of a cool character, but we'll see. It is the beginning of Women's Month, so we will check it out. I really like that secret rare. Probably over 1,000 now. 665. So the Ghost Rider one, if you take that for example, that one initially it was like there's only like 5 available. So initially it was like 1.7K, right? But that's unfair because there's only 5 available. As it came out in droves, the secret rares dropped down to like 600, 700, just like this is doing. So, well, but now they're back up to past 1,000. So will this pump the same way? I don't know. It's really odd to see the pump in the common, but not in the secret rare right now, which leads me to believe this particular comic will overall drop. It is not very expensive at all in physical value, so keep that in mind. It is not very expensive at all in physical value, and I don't think it's a very sought after comic in general. As we read, you know, not huge meaningful stuff happen. We saw She-Hulk, of course, and there's the hint of the Secret Wars, which is if they got the original Secret Wars comic, that might be huge. So we will see. But personally, I'm staying away from that today. Let's check out that Ghost Rider comic since we're just speaking about it. See where that comment is. If we can find it. I want to check out Marvel Comics #1, the ultra rare. I do want to pick up more ultra rares of these. Fantastic Four #1. Amazing Spider-Man #1. I have an ultra rare. I do want an ultra rare of Fantastic Four #1. Hopefully. If I can get it. And then I might try and pick up a Donald and Daisy Golden Moment if I can get that as well. All right, let's go load back in. We're going to discuss how to get things from the market, or at least how I have learned how to get things from the market in a quicker way. All right, so we have Ghost Rider #1. The comment is now at 34. As I said, it has dropped. And that is now 34 gems. It did pump up all the way past 40. We have Shinx here. Little pro. Look at that. 2 collectibles. 2 collectibles, but selling 3 of them. Something doesn't seem right there, right? That makes sense? Ooh, this one on effect. Focus. Interesting, interesting. So, 34 gems, Ghost Rider. So that means to me, this Fantastic Four one, if you have the common, this is probably a pump up and it will drop down below. So keep that in mind, which is really interesting, which was opposite of when comics first dropped, where they, like, the commons dropped for below market price. Nothing will be below market price like ever again. So, all right. And then we have the introduction of Bishop sitting around 8 gems. And I did have the discussion before. It is possibly, thanks Paint Life 1904. I love it. VeVe NFT Go Getter. Thank you very much. Peace to you. So we have Bishop coming there at around 8 gems. Now, there was a discussion about the MCP with When Pokemon and others, and how the MCP could really translate to the evening of the comic field and everything. So, MCP will give you another shot at getting these comics. And as you've seen, for me, I'm looking for any shot that I can get, because I've gotten just nothing, which is crazy. I used to get 60-70% of the drops all the time, not using any bots or anything, just using my fingers. I did use a massage gun once or twice, I'll be honest. But even before that, I was getting, again, literally once or twice. One time I screwed up and I didn't use it again for a while. And I'm like, all right, I'll try it one more time. And then they announced, oh, if you do any sort of weird tactics, it might flag you. So I'm like, okay, I won't do it. I won't chance it. So anyways, I used to like legitimately get drops all the time. And I haven't gotten anything in a long time. So if I can get more chances, you can bet I'm going to go for it. So the MCP, part of it is going to be burning NFTs, and part of it will be getting these points to get more drops, right? And there's other stuff around it. Not important right now for this discussion. So when Pokemon and I were talking about some of the higher value comics for MCP points will be rare and ultra rare. You're getting so many a day, and even the secret rare. If you get a cheap secret rare, it's going to pump up those prices appropriately because people are getting so many points a day. Also, what if you get 10, 15 points for burning a common, and then you get 17 points for burning an uncommon, and 25 points for burning a rare, different rarities. So one possible tactic is, we don't know how many points you might get for burning or whatever, but you can kind of use these as EXP orbs or lost soul stones, like you would in Dark Souls or Demon Souls, where you have the soul of the lost or brave hero or lost heroes, and you can pop them for quick EXP or MCP points down the road, because again, they expire every 6 months. So you could almost spend a few $100s, get a bunch of these cheap $8, because this is kind of the cheapest one that's around right now. There's maybe some cheaper ones. I think probably maybe these X-Men ones are, no, they're not. That was not cheap. Maybe like these Kraven's Last Hunt ones are, or the Hulk ones are around 8. So 8, 10. So 8's kind of the cheapest. You buy 100, let's say 100, because you spend 800 gems. You buy 100 of these and you just keep them, and you wait till 6 months after. And let's say at 7 months they announce Pokemon. Everyone's initial MCP points have expired by then. Mine would expire. Anyone who's big, a lot of their big points would expire around that 6 months time. They reset, and now you have this ability to burn a whole bunch of comics that are pretty cheap to get a bunch of MCP points to then participate in the next round when others don't. So you have this like stockpile, and you're not necessarily planning on selling them, but in burning them, you're also raising the value because there's less of them, and you are also, and this is something I didn't say, but you are also raising your value, right? You see how that's, so I can see some really interesting stuff happening with burning and these common comics, and some of these 30,000 editions going down to 25, going down to 20. Another thing we have seen this Fantastic Four that I didn't say I said it way before, but it's 10,000 editions. So that's why it's at 25 gems, is that it is a more rare. So what else is 10,000 editions? Well, the Beta Ray Bill one with the Thor's 10,000 editions. I mistakenly used to think Hitmonkey, I believe, is 10,000 as well. I'll have to double check that, but I believe that's 10,000 as well, which is up to 42 gems. It went up quite a bit actually during the run up and has since dropped down. I used to think that Powers of X was 10,000 editions. However, that one was 25K. The reason I thought it was 10,000 editions is because the secret rare version of Powers of X only has 250 copies, which is the same amount of copies that most other 10,000 editions have. So really weird is it has 25,000 editions, but only 250 secret rares, which the maxing House of X, which again, if you put those two covers together, they form this whole tapestry. House of X, there's 500 or there's 600 editions, I believe, for the secret rare, but Powers of X, there's only 250, which is really interesting. There's more than double. I actually think it's 500. I don't think it's 600. I would have to double check, but it is at least double. So keep that in mind. All right, let's go back out to discuss how to get stuff off drops. So I was watching some stuff on like Mint Hunters and stuff the other day, and they were discussing how they hunt for mints, why they get them. So number one, you need to have gems in your account, right? You need to have probably a couple hundred gems to be able to take advantage of some of these deals that might randomly pop up. And again, there's times, and I've heard this a few times before, where somebody will mislist something massive for, you know, like a secret rare Fantastic Four or an ultra rare or something, or instead of 1.5K or 15,000 for 150 gems. And you could take, and I've seen people take advantage of that, and it's unlucky, but it's part of the market. You know, it happens in the crypto market too, where they call it fat finger whales, which it doesn't always need to be a whale, just need to be someone either not paying attention, or maybe you've had a few too whiskeys or beers and you're touching the computer when you shouldn't be. That is, it happens all the time. So this is how you get those. Tito 420, how many comics do you have in your vault? Let's see. I think it's, I have over 100 collectibles altogether. I actually freaked out a little bit when they changed the vault. I have 59 comics right now. So I actually freaked out a little bit when they separated the comics and collectibles, because I went into mine and I saw like, oh, I only had, you know, 50 or 60 collectibles, whatever it was. And I was like, I know I have a lot more than that. What the hell happened? And I saw like, okay, they separated comics and collectibles finally. I have been stacking a little bit of Spider Ghost, and you know what? I might stack again. I might stack like a bunch of these common comics of different types to do exactly what I said. Even if I don't do it, it's still a pretty low risk bet in my opinion to grab 10 or 15. Also, it's around the sell price, so for it to double or triple is not very hard to do. Kind of like Peely Fantasy, like the common of Peely Fantasy is around its sell price. Or so it to double on the next pump is really not hard to do. Or an R2D2 to double on the next pump is much more difficult to do. Well, I think it will, probably, yeah. But for it to double is much more difficult than for that Peely Fantasy thing to double, or for a common comic at 8 gems to double. But again, Peely Fantasy, I think you're still only paying 2.5% fee. As any of these Marvel, Disney stuff, you're paying 8.5% fee. So that always factors into a little bit. On the more expensive end, it factors into what I do. On these cheap comics, I don't care too much, because I'm looking for doubles and triples. I'm not looking for 20% gains, right? This stuff is already so risky that if you're looking for 20% gains, you'll probably go to the stock market. But again, I'm looking to trade, to collect, to add to my collection, to trade. You know, there's a game there that can be played probably more efficiently, I'm sure, as some people are playing it. But I have like some stuff. It might be a good idea for me to have sold my Todds and then bought back in. And I don't know, for some reason that doesn't make me feel good. I have some stuff that I have stored away, just like Bitcoin and stuff like that. All right, so what I've learned is that you can refresh the screen, and it seems like these that appear in here have a quicker ability at seeing this than you would at clicking into any given collectible and refreshing on this page, right? And so I'm going to be really upset if I see, because this is my girlfriend's account and she doesn't, oh, she has some gems actually. So like, as long as I can buy something that pops up, oh, that'd be so upsetting if something popped up and I could buy it, but it's not my account. Oh, that'd be so upsetting. Anyways, so things pop up here and you have to be ready. So you can pop up here, you can see the buy now button appears right away. You have to know what prices you're looking to buy at. You know, this is a 69.69. If Brendan Z's in chat, I'm sure he'd want to go for that. We have a 38.13, not a very good mint number. 829 though is right around the floor. Altogether now, ultra rare, 53.03, not a very good mint number to me, at around twice the price. So you can keep refreshing those. If something pops up, and that's where you have to like really know this stuff. Okay, you know what price you want to buy it at, you know what mint number, and you have to without thinking, just click, click, click. So click buy now, and then you need to do it. I'm not going to, it's my girlfriend's account, remember. But yes, so that is the way you do it, is you apparently, and I was able to get a pretty decent mint number on something yesterday in one of the Ghost Rider comics I was happy with. I mean, we have mint number 700 and only 1370, which might be good. Honestly, I would want to get a below 100 if I could. Where are they at right now? So floor price is 900. That's not too expensive for like an even mint number. I can easily see Donald Daisy going up to 2K, obviously. I mean, not obviously, but I can personally see that. Any of the Disney Golden Moments I think are great long-term holds in general. Captain Carter is one of those odd ones where she's a set in and of herself. And who knows what will happen with Marvel Mighty. She's now a first appearance. She might be more around in the future because we did see her shield in the Multiverse of Madness, one of the trailers. So possibly we're going to see that. Yes. Okay. So we've discussed some really fun things today. Of course, we have the Akomi price. The Bitcoin price is down a little bit today, still 40K, still awesome to see. Of course, we have stupid Russia invading Ukraine, which is dumb. They should stop. Get off my jack, Ukraine is saying, come on. So hopefully that stops. I got a little bit of coffee here that I made myself, a little Americano, if you will, which is just espresso and water. I used to think that was disgusting. I'm like, oh, I don't want watered down espresso, but it's really like a much stronger tasting cup of coffee in reality. So if you are just getting into coffee, Americanos are actually great. It's actually the secret rare way. If you want fresh coffee, go to Starbucks or any place where you're like, that coffee's been sitting out for 2 hours, probably doesn't taste good anymore. Get an Americano because they have to brew it fresh. That's how they have to make it. So it's not very hard and it tastes delish. All right, so we have Bitcoin down a little bit, Ethereum down a little bit, whole market's down a little bit for the most part. We have Avalanche. We don't need to go through all these because this isn't a cryptocurrency channel, although we could, but we won't. Then we have Akomi down a little bit, not a bad price to pick it up. You know, if people were happy to pick it up at 0.006 or 0.007, they should also be happy to pick it up at 0.004. They should be ecstatic to pick it up at that price. That's a very lucky price to have a chance to get it at again. So this comes down to conviction and everything. I do have a video coming out about all that I just talked about, so I won't go too much into it. All right, guys. Well, again, we will be on here for the next live shot. What do we have coming up next? We have, is the article published? No, it's not. We do have Matt Gondek's on Saturday at 8 a.m. I might not be going live for this. It's not a comic reading. I will officially be going live for all comic readings, but I won't always be going live for these special events. I will post it the day before, at least if I go live, or when the article's up, because that's when I will officially know the time and date of these drops. So I don't know if I'll go live for this, just because I wouldn't mind some sleep on Saturday, because I know on Sunday I'm going to have to wake up early. But Saturday night, we have Twitter Spaces, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Don't forget that. We also have a Twitter Space on Sunday, which I'm going to post right now with me and Win Pokemon. an open roundtable discussion, whatever. The Saturday one is like kind of a creators roundtable. You're able to ask questions, anything about creating or VeVe or whatever. We don't care. So come on. So Saturday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time, and then Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And I will be seeing the Batman this weekend. Curious to see how that is. I hope it's good. And we're probably going to see Scream sometime on Sunday because we missed that coming out, but it got pretty decent reviews. So we're going to see the Batman. Hopefully it's good. Look, the trailers make it look really good. I've been way more interested in this Batman than I was in Ben Affleck's version of the Batman. So this one with the Riddler and what they're doing with it, much darker tone, of course. Looks like it could be a lot of fun, really good, and hopefully it is. I kind of want to look up Rotten Tomatoes for it to see like the general impressions, but I'll just wait. I'll just wait for tomorrow. It's coming. We're going to go see it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Remember, follow me, like, subscribe, share, gets everything out. I will be doing a giveaway for 500 subscribers, announcing that shortly. So the quicker I can get there, the quicker I can do it. And then we'll probably do one for some other subscriber count later. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Remember, be yourself. Have a great day. Follow me on the 3Ts and IG, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram at SodiPopMedia, SodiPopMedia.com. And I will see you for the next comic drop. And then Saturday and Sunday for 2 separate Twitter spaces. We can talk a little bit about the Batman. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, so I probably won't talk about it on the Twitter spaces other than a generality if I liked it or not. I'm the type of person that won't even see, oh, the twist. I don't like talking about twists or anything. You know, let someone experience it as a virgin, right? All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Be yourself, eat a cookie, follow me, and enjoy your weekend.